So we meet Yobina. She's a hairstylist looking for a fresh start.
Had some tough times in Lagos, apparently.
Yeah. So she moves to this new community, and her plan seems simple enough as she opened the first salon there, but the town, weirdly, has no salons at all.
That's the first little flag, isn't it? A whole community, maybe even a prosperous one, and 0 salons.
Right. It feels wrong, like a town without a grocery store or something. It's just off.
So she must have asked someone about it.
Well, yeah, she asks her neighbor, seems natural enough, and the neighbor just gives her this really short, almost dismissive warning.
Oh, what did she say?
Just, there are no stylists here, my dear. We are just managing. And that's it. No explanation.
We are just managing. That phrase hangs there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It hints at some kind of secret, some shared knowledge Yobina isn't privy to.
Exactly. Like, what are they managing without, and why hairstylists specifically? Is it practical or something else?
Something deeper, maybe.
But Yobina, she's got that entrepreneurial spirit. She sees a gap in the market.
Sees an opportunity. She's skilled.
Yeah, the story says she's experienced, she's excited, calls her shop Yobina's Touch. She's even got visions of turning the place into a broody capital.
Ambitious. But how does the town react to her opening up?
Well, that's where it gets really unsettling. People gather outside her shop, but they're not curious or excited. They're just watching her.
Watching her how?
With worry, it sounds like. Just worried looks. And then one woman actually says out loud, loud enough for Yobina to hear, "Who is this woman that doesn't love herself?"
Whoa. Doesn't love herself. That implies doing hair or getting hair done is somehow dangerous.
Yeah.
Self-destructive.
Right. It's not just, we don't need this. It's like, this is bad for you. It suggests a really strong cultural taboo, or maybe superstition.
Yeah, rooted in something specific they all seem to know about.
Exactly. And things just get stranger for weeks. Nobody comes in. Not one person.
So her dream of a bustling salon isn't quite happening.
Not at all. So she pivots, starts making braided wigs to sell outside instead. Smart, right?
Resourceful. Does that work?
No. The moment she brings out the hair attachments, the local kids see them and completely freak out.
Freak out how?
Screaming, running away. One kid yells, "She has brought it out. It is happening again."
It is happening again. Okay, so this isn't new. Whatever it is, it's linked to hair stuff, and it's happened before.
Yeah, it confirms Yobina isn't just facing indifference. She's tapped into some kind of collective trauma or fear. What could possibly cause that reaction in kids?
It's deeply unsettling. Does anyone try to explain it to her?
Finally, yes. Mama Oza, described as the oldest woman in the community, comes into the empty salon.
The elder figure, usually the keeper of secrets in these stories.
Totally. And she gives Yobina this really blunt, ominous warning. She says, "Stylists don't last long in this town. We value our lives."
Chilling. Did she elaborate?
She did. She told a story about another stylist, someone who was popular but then just vanished. Disappeared completely after a strange woman visited her shop.
Strange woman. Okay. And the vanishing act.
And Mama Oza finishes with this line, "Believe it or not, the eye is watching."
The eye is watching. There it is again. That connects back to the title, to the core mystery.
Yeah.
It shifts everything from just odd to potentially supernatural, dangerous.
Yeah, this idea of unseen forces, classic folklore, like you said. But Yobina, maybe understandably, brushes it off.
Just an old village story, perhaps, trying to stay rational.
Exactly. She keeps going. And finally, after 3 really long months, she catches a break.
Wow.
A visitor comes to town, someone from Lagos. This visitor buys one of Yobina's blonde wigs, wears it out.
And suddenly it's okay.
Suddenly it's more than okay. The visitor loves it, people see it, and bam, Yobina's Touch is the hottest place in town.
Wow, so external validation kind of broke the spell. Or at least suppressed the fear.
Seems like it. People start buying wigs, then they start coming in for braids. She's finally making it, living her dream, life gets better.
That's a fascinating turn. It creates this sense of hope, a feeling that maybe things will be all right, which in these stories often means something bad is about to happen.
You called it. Because then the fateful customer arrives.
Here we go. Describe her.
Tall woman, dressed head to toe in black, and wearing dark sunglasses, completely hiding her eyes, even though it's not sunny out.
Okay, definitely signaling mystery, maybe something sinister. The hidden eyes trope.
And her voice is described as slow, kind of sleepy. She asks for a specific style, a reigning star, braid, and she insists it needs to be tight.
Tight braids.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now, that detail feels really loaded.
Yeah.
Like there's a specific reason she wants it tight.
Exactly. So Yobina starts braiding. The woman's hair is apparently incredibly thick, very dense.
Wow.
She's working meticulously, reaches the middle of the head, and the woman suddenly says, in that slow voice, please take it easy, you're touching my eyes.
Touching her eyes in the middle of her scalp.
Yeah. Yobina's obviously confused, asks, what do you mean? The woman just repeats, can't you see it? You're touching my eyes. Please be careful.
So Yobina looks closer.
She parts the thick hair, peers right in, and there it is.
The eye.
A real, actual human eye. Staring right back at her, hidden deep within the hair.
Oh my God. That is the moment.
Yeah.
Pure horror. It validates everything Mama Oza said, shatters any normalcy left. What kind of creature has an eye in its hair?
I can't even imagine the shock. Yobina apparently stumbles back, heart pounding, but the woman acts like nothing happened.
Just sits there calmly.
Completely calm.
Yeah.
So Yobina, trying to think fast, makes an excuse, like she needs to get a tool or something, turns away for just a second, and when she turns back, the woman is gone. Vanished. Poof.
Just like the previous stylist story.
Exactly. The shop goes totally silent, then the lights start to flicker, and die, plunging her into complete darkness.
Oh, classic horror setup. Silence, darkness.
And then a voice, disembodied, cold, fills the darkness.
What does it say?
It says, you have touched what you shouldn't have touched. Now you must pass the 5 tests or pass away.
5 tests or death. Okay. The stakes just went from 0 to infinity. What a cliffhanger to leave Yobina on.
Right. So just to quickly recap this insanity, Yobina, our ambitious hairstylist, finds a literal human eye in a customer's hair. The customer vanishes, and now a spooky voice says she has to survive 5 deadly trials or die. Talk about a terrible day at the salon.
Indeed. And these aren't like trivia questions. The first test, she has to detangle a hair of a disembodied head that's screaming the whole time.
Screaming. It's not just dexterity, it's enduring that sound, that horror. Imagine the mental fortitude needed.
Absolutely. Then, trial number 2, wash the hair of another disembodied head.
Okay, slightly less noisy maybe.
Well, this hair is apparently filled with blood, entangled inside. A human tooth.
Ugh. Okay, so this one's about confronting the absolutely grotesque, right? Not giving in to pure revulsion.
Precisely. The third test shifts gears a bit, focuses on mental discipline.
How so?
She has to style the hair of a talkative demon.
A talkative demon.
Yes, and it's apparently taunting her, provoking her, trying to get a reaction. The challenge is she cannot say a single word the entire time.
A test of silence, focus, and resisting provocation under extreme, bizarre stress.
Exactly. Then the fourth trial gets personal. Very personal.
What happens?
She's put under one of those old hood-style hair dryers, but instead of just heat, it forces her to relive her most painful memories.
Oh, wow. Like heartbreak, loss, abuse, whatever her deepest wounds are.
All of it. And the test is to endure all that emotional agony without crying, not a single tear.
That's brutal. It's like facing your own past trauma, your inner demons, head on.
A powerful metaphor, really.
Right.
And then finally, the fifth trial.
The final boss.
Basically, she has to confront the eye woman herself, the source of it all, named Zuwena.
Zuwena. So this is the actual fight for survival against the entity that put her through all this.
The ultimate test. And this is where Yobina's own, background and skills come back in a really unexpected way.
How does she fight back? Against Zuwena and her eye hair?
It's incredible. She hears her mother's voice in her head telling her to use her fire.
Her fire? What does that mean?
Well, she interprets it quite literally, almost ritualistically. She takes something sharp, pierces her own fingers.
Wait, she uses her own blood?
Her own blood. And she cuts off a lock of her own hair. Then she braids her hair and her blood together.
Whoa, braiding her own essence, basically.
Exactly. This act, this self-sacrifice, using her own hair, the symbol of her craft, and her own blood, becomes the weapon. That's what defeats Zuwena.
That's quite something, using her own identity, her skill, her life force as the solution. What does that symbolize, do you think?
It really speaks to this idea of inner strength being linked to personal sacrifice, maybe. That your greatest talents, represented by her hair, become truly powerful when combined with a deep personal offering, her blood. Vulnerability and strength intertwine.
A very compelling concept. So she wins. She defeats Zuwena.
She does. She defeats Zuwena, breaks the curse on the community.
Yeah.
But it comes at a huge cost.
Oh no, what happens?
The spirits, or Zuwena, or whatever the force is, demand a price for her victory, for her bravery. They take her eyes. She loses her sight.
She goes blind. After facing all that, that feels incredibly harsh.
It's a classic element in folklore, isn't it? That heavy price for heroism. Victory isn't always clean or complete. It makes you really question the nature of triumph when the cost is so profound.
Yeah, it really does. What about the community? How do they react to her saving them but becoming blind?
Well, interestingly, their reaction is pure gratitude and awe. They totally recognize her sacrifice. She's hailed as a hero.
So they don't shun her or anything.
Quite the opposite. They even create an annual festival, a day dedicated to honoring her bravery every year.
That's actually quite moving. And what about her? Does she just stop?
No. And this is another fascinating twist. Despite being blind, her talent as a hairstylist doesn't just endure, it flourishes.
Really? How?
She becomes even more famous. Her reputation spreads far beyond the community. Her blindness somehow becomes part of her legend, a testament to her courage, and she inspires others.
Wow. So resilience is a huge theme there too. Finding new ways to thrive even after unimaginable loss.
Absolutely. Her gift finds a way, even without sight. It's quite powerful.
So stepping back from this whole incredible narrative, what do we take away from this deep dive? It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does, about the power of these stories, how they blend the totally ordinary getting your hair done with the truly extraordinary and terrifying.
Yeah, and what do these tales tell us about, our collective fears?
Yeah.
About perseverance against the unknown, and maybe about the unexpected prices we sometimes pay for our biggest successes.
And it makes you wonder, too, what other stories are hidden just beneath the surface in our own communities? Maybe not with eyes and hair, but stories of struggle, sacrifice, and resilience, just waiting to be uncovered.
That's a great thought to end on. What unseen narratives are playing out all around us? Really makes you think.